Yes.
Okay. A warm good evening to all of you. Myself, Jisha. I welcome all of you on behalf of the principal and faculty and IQAC members of Srinarayana College, Kollam, Kerala, to the national level faculty development program on advances in effective teaching. We are associating with Kerala State Higher Education Council, Government of Kerala, for conducting this program. This is the fourth day of our FDP, and weekends are fun days and days to relax. So this Sunday we have chosen two speakers who passionately embrace photography, birding and traveling. Moreover, they are nature lovers. Namita Keskar and Professor Amita Naik will deliver a talk on ornithology and keys to bird identification. Inviting Dr. Divya P.S., Assistant Professor of Zoology and Extended IQAC member, SN College, Kollam, for the welcome address. Over to you, Divya.
Thank you, Jisha teacher. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. It's my pleasure to welcome you all for a national level faculty development program organized by IQAC Srinarayana College Kollam in association with Kerala State Higher Education Council Government of Kerala. First of all, I would like to welcome to our esteemed resource person, Professor Amita Naik, Department of Zoology, MES Abba Sahib Garwar College, Pune, Maharashtra, and Ms. Namita Keshkar, Area Manager, West India, the World Grad, Ahmedabad, who are here for a talk on ornithology and key to bird identification. On behalf of Srinarayana College Kollam and all the participants, a very warm welcome to both of you, ma'am. I would like to welcome Dr. S.V. Manu sir, College Principal, Dr. Jisha, IQAC Coordinator, Srinarayana College Kollam into this session. A very warm welcome to all the teaching faculties from different states and all other participants into this program. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Divya. With pleasure, let me introduce the speakers. Namita Keshkar. She is a core nature and wildlife enthusiast from Pune, Maharashtra. Being a nature explorer, her keen interest is into birding and documenting them with photography. Her photographs seek to encourage and inspire people to love and protect nature. Professionally, Namita is into overseas education student requirement that leads her to get close with today's youth and observe their stress and struggle to survive and succeed in this fast-pacing, stressful world. This ever-growing need is taking away the essence of being in nature and enjoy the simple joys of life. With her passion towards nature and birding, Namita wished to bridge this gap. And with this thought, she wished to explore her dream of mentoring nature enthusiasts in the near future. And next speaker today is Amita Naik from Pune, Maharashtra. Amita is working as teaching faculty in life sciences, zoology, Abba Sahib Garwar College, Pune. Being a keen nature observer, Amita developed interest in field identification or taxonomy of birds and captured them with her camera lens and have photographed around 600 plus bird species from different parts of India. Some of them are endemic and rare, including Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan, Kerala and Karnataka, and wish to explore as much as all species those are endemic to India. Her dream as a nature lover is to inculcate the importance of nature conservation and rich biodiversity of India among students and general public with her knowledge, experience, and skills. On behalf of Srinarayana College Kollam and IQAC and Kerala State Higher Education Council, I wholeheartedly welcome Namita Keskar and Amita Nayak to start your talk on ornithology and keys to bird identification. Over to you, Namita and Namita.
Thank
Yes,
you,
yes.
Jisha.
Thank you
Thank
so much, Jisha. So, shall I start presenting now?
Yes.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Is that slide visible?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So, a very warm good evening to all. And we are going to start with today's talk on ornithology and basic keys to
identification of birds. Uh, you all must be knowing the meaning of word ornithology, because nowadays most of the people, they are into ornithology. They just go out and they explore the fields for identification of birds and capture them as well. So we will just start with knowing what is mean by ornithology. So this is a Greek word. It comes from Greek dictionary. Ornithos means birds, and logy is to study something scientifically. So that's a branch of zoology. We all know that. Uh, all around world, there are about 10,000 species of birds, and in India, around 1,350 bird species are encountered or recorded. So, coming to the basic features of birds, you all know that birds are warm blooded. That means their body temperature remains constant. That is why they are adapted to various types of environments. Bodies are covered with wings and feathers. They are egg laying, oviparous, that the egg is covered with a hard shell. And then they are bipedal in locomotion. They walk with the help of two legs, whereas the four legs, or the frontal legs, they are modified into the four wings. Uh, then they have a very light skeleton. That too, it is a very strong. That the bones of birds, they are hollow and they are called as pneumatic bones. So that light skeleton helps the birds to fly efficiently. And then the heart is four chambered, which is again a kind of adaptation. Not actually adaptation, but it's a kind of efficient heart. And then the breastbone, which is flattened and expanded, which gives a larger surface area for the attachment of flight muscles. So these are all basic adaptations in birds. So a little bit about the evolution of birds. You all must be knowing that the birds, the ancestors of birds, they are reptiles. And there is a famous connecting link which is recognized, which is known as Archaeopteryx. It is a connecting link between the reptiles and birds. It shows characters of both reptiles and birds. So it was explored in the it occurred in the Jurassic period of geological time scale, around 150-148 million years ago. So this is a famous connecting link between reptiles and birds. So coming to the important part regarding identification of birds, the basic keys which we are going to discuss with you all. First of all, we need to know the different body parts of the bird. So in field, these key features, they are very much important to identify any bird around us. So let us start learning the different parts of the body. First, we will start with the head part. It is the most important and the frontal part of the body of the bird, uh, which is a good place for recognizing the bird in the field, because head is most of the time it is conspicuously colored, and in some cases the head has provided with a beautiful crest, or a crown, or a nape. As in, you can see in these small pictures I have shown some birds. This beautiful lustrous bird of Himalayan monal, it has a crest on its head. Even this crested serpent eagle, it has a beautiful crest on its head. Yellow nape woodpecker, it has a yellow kind of crest, which is also known as nape. Nape is a part of a head portion only, but it is behind the neck of the bird. So nape is also sometimes brilliantly colored. So that's the head, which has a pair of eyes. Even sometimes the eyes are also useful in identification of birds, because the eyes are also sometimes having some conspicuous colorings. It can have eye rings around it, which can have different colors. Like in Oriental white eye, the eye has a white ring. So that's again an identification mark, like in case of Oriental white eye. And then in case of Indian paradise flycatcher, the eye has those very what you can say very bright metallic blue eye rings around the eyes. So head plays an important role in the field identification of birds. Then the bill of the bird. bill or beak of the bird. Okay, the bill or beak can have different shape, size, and color, which helps in identification for sure. Like here, this little bird you can see here, this is red-billed Leothrix. It has conspicuously brightly red-colored bill. In case of little spider hunter, the bill shape is different. It is more elongated and slender. So that the
And
bird.
interestingly, this red-billed Deothrix is called lipstick bird as well.
Yeah, it is also called lipstick bird because of
Yes.
that bright red color of the bill. So bill also helps in identification of the bird. Okay. Then the chin area, just below the bill, there is this very short area above the neck region. This is called chin, and sometimes in some examples, the chin can be also be brilliantly colored. For instance, in case of this black chinned babbler, you can see there's a little patch over here which is black in color. So some birds the chin is also highlighted. So that can be also a good identification mark. Okay. Then comes the throat region. Behind the chin and above the neck, there is this short region that is the throat region. It is also important in identification because it can have different colors and patterns in different species. Sometimes it is streaked, sometimes it is striped, it can be barred sometimes. In case of this flame-throated bulbul, you can see the throat, it is brightly red in color, so that is why it is called flame-throated bulbul. So throat can also play a good identification mark.
Even this Rufous georgeted flycatcher
Yes,
as
yes.
well has a very distinctive,
Yeah, you can see this orange red patch over here, which is uh, the rufous patch actually. That's why the name of the bird, Rufous georgeted flycatcher. Okay. Then the neck, which is very short. Then comes the back, which is a broad area. Most of the time, the back of the bird is, if it is sitting in a good posture, you can see the back very clearly, and then you can identify the bird by knowing the coloration and the pattern on the back. So that's the back. Then the abdomen of the bird. That's the abdomen, which is also sometimes brilliantly colored. Like this is white bellied minivid. Belly is the abdomen. You can see it is majorly in white color. Okay. Then the chest and breast, chest or breast, it can be also used in the identification of bird. Most of the time, it is having different colors. If you can see here one picture, this is stripe-throated Euhina. Okay. I don't have that picture now, but I'll show you
I guess
afterwards.
this fairy, Asian fairy,
Yeah,
like fantail.
yellow-bellied fantail.
Yeah,
It
yellow
has
belly.
that yellow-colored belly, right? Okay. Then the flanks. These flanks are short wings that are located uh, underside of the main wings, just near the abdomen of the bird. Here, in this case, you can see this orange flanked Himalayan bush robin. Below the wings, you can see some orange patch over here. These are the flanks of the bird. So flanks can also play important role in identification. Then comes the tail. In different birds, the tail plays, I mean, the shape of the tail, the length of the tail, and the colors of the tail, they can be different. Here in fire-tailed sunbird, the tail is fiery red in color. That's why the name of the bird, fire-tailed sunbird. In Indian paradise flycatcher, the tail part is quite much elongated, as if like a ribbon or tape. So that's an identification mark of this particular bird, which is extremely beautiful. Okay. And then the legs and feet. These also play important role in the identification of birds. Like the waders, mostly the aquatic birds, they have long legs. Here you can see in this picture, black wing stilt. They have long legs, and some of them they have webs on the feet. which are useful for aquatic life, that is swimming in water. Okay, so all these parts of the bird, they play an important role in the identification. Um, so now I'll ask my friend Namita to take over and continue with the talk. Namita?
Thank you, Amita. Thank you.
Yes.
So Amita has rightly started with the morphology, avian morphology, to start with the identification of birds. I will take you forward with some other characteristics of the bird, like which are very much useful while you are on the field. So let's start with that. I am just sharing my presentation with you guys. Give me one moment. To begin with, I'm just running a short video, and I would like, any one of you identify the bird if you can in this video. All right. I hope you can. Okay, so I hope. I mean, it was a very short video, and I have tried incorporating some common birds in this. Would like to know if anyone have identified any of the bird in this, short video. You can just raise or maybe unmute yourself and tell. Yes, Annie.
Hello, is
Baya
a
Weaver.
crow? Is that
Yes.
Baya Weaver.
That's great. Baya Weaver. Amazing. Yes. What else? Can you identify any other bird in this? A total four birds.
a crow?
Yes, of course. Crow is there. Okay. The two other birds were scaly-breasted munia.
Scaly breasted munia.
Correct, 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 correct. And the last one, anyone?
Munio.
Um, no, munia, definitely. A finch, you can say. So
Tricolored
it,
munia.
it is called Indian silverbill. So it is a part of finch. I mean, it's part of like a finch family. All right, and it is easily seen near the human vegetation or human habitat. So I hope you like this short video, and I'll begin with my topic, that is identifying birds in the field, like how you can go about it. The next slide. Give me one moment. What is happening? Okay. Yes. So, being able to identify the birds you see in the field not only increases the value of an outdoor experience, but you can also help conserve birds and their habitats. So my basic motive, to identify or to take up this topic is encourage people to go outdoors, identify this avian beauties, and take keen interest. Why it is necessary is because what I have observed, or even Amita have observed, is like the places which are rich with the number of birds are really really amazing with natural resources, and I would say full of life and full of oxygen. So conserving these habitats, identifying these birds, helping them to flourish in their area is really important for our own existence. That's what I feel. And that's the reason why we have taken up this topic today. So, if you are interested in getting to know the birds you see and report, these records to the database used by scientists and conservationists, there are sites you can use to you upload this data. So, one popular website is ebirds.com. I have actually made a slide where I'm sharing these important information with all of you. You can note it down later on. So eBird is basically collect the data of birds all over the world, for identifying the birds, moving all across the globe. So they actually observe their migration path, their number of species. They like characterize. They find the characteristics of birds, changing or evolving from time to time. Also, they identify, is there any behavioral pattern change happening from time to time in the birds migration. So, putting this data, we are helping these scientists, and in turn they are taking adequate measures to save these habitats. So we are just taking our own efforts to help scientists and these people to conserve the nature, so that our future generation can see this avian world very closely and they actually breathe in a clear air. So, I mean, today is a very right day, I would say. You must have, read in the newspaper about the air quality in the north. It is really, really bad. It is really affecting us so badly. It was, I guess, 7:35 yesterday, and people were not able to breathe properly. Government had to give, off to the schools and colleges. So if we are not taking care of our own nature nearby, how our future generation is gonna live for a longer years. So I would say I look at this particular topic in that perspective, that if we start taking little efforts to save our surroundings, I believe we will at least support our earth, or probably our government, to bridge this gap, or rather I would say save us from the longer hazards, what is happening to the human habitats in the near future. So to begin with, placing the bird in a group is a very good start, since each group has characteristics in common, such as shape, size, behavior, habitat use, and plumage pattern and colors. What I've found out is, like, when I used to go on a field, firstly I tried identifying birds by their colors, and then I used to get confused, because there were multiple birds with the same color, same sort of plumage patterns and all. And then I used to get really, really, really confused to identify the right group, or maybe the right name of that particular bird. Then I came across with some books which guided me to understand their shapes, their sizes, their behavior. And then I used to get the accuracy in my identification. So that is the right way of basically approaching this particular topic, how to identify a bird in a field. So let's go with my next slide. Bird shape. So these are like basic groups of birds: duck, heron, woodpecker, or a flycatcher, or a plover, or grebe, hummingbirds, kingfishers, or a hawk. You know, these are their shapes. So if you know the broader line shape of a particular bird, it is easier for you to identify at least that group of the bird very easily. Once you know the group of the bird, then with the other characteristics like size, or a color, or probably the location, or the elevation, or their behavior, you can very accurately identify that bird, right? I've given some examples over here in the next slide. So this is a group of, some birds. You see here on the left hand side, it is the pair of ruddy shell duck. The size of this is like, the group is duck family, and there is another duck in this picture. This is the one. Now, that is called as gargani. It's a gargani female. If you see, they are different in size. Correct. So how I can identify between two? Firstly, definitely on the size of the duck. It is smaller, it is bigger, and then the color of the duck. So that is my other characteristics how I can identify this bird. Then on the right hand side, there are two more birds sitting there, that is called as river tern. Now they are as similar size as gargani, but then in tern family there are different variety, different species of birds already present. So we cannot actually you can identify them as a different group or a different species. They are not ducks, they are terns, and these two are ducks. So this is how you can identify upon, based upon the size. This is bigger, this is smaller. Correct. Another example could be this. In the foreground, you can see a pair of black-winged stilts. In the background, you can see a little larger bird. It is not really clear, but with the shape or a size of this bird, one can easily identify this is gray neck. This is gray heron, right? Even the beak size, you can see that it is a larger beak size, a little longer beak size, and the neck is also pretty elongated and big neck. So this is how you can identify it when you know the group. There are books which will educate you on the basic groups of birds and their shapes. So with that help, if you even say spend almost like 10 minutes in a day, you can start understanding the basic groups of the birds and their shapes, and then you can start going on the field and try and observe and identify those birds. Correct. The next example would be a pair of mottle wood owl, which is like in 40 to 50 centimeter long. The size of this mottle wood owl is 40 to 50 centimeters long. And on the right hand side, you can see a spotted owlet, which is just 20 centimeters long. So spotted owlets are found very easily near the human habitat, whereas mottled wood owl is found in a jungle area, a bushy area. Correct. So again, the size matters a lot to identify, although they are from the same group, owl family, but because of the size, the species are different. Subspecies are different. That's how you can identify it based upon the bird size. Next is bird behavior. Now, once you know the bird's shape and bird size, you can actually, understand like what is the behavior of the particular bird in their, natural habitat. You know, so the example to give is this gray hornbill, which is perched on this banyan tree, having or feasting on the fruits. So the best time I would suggest, like if you really are interested into birding or observing birds in the nature, is the fruiting period of trees and their habitats. So you can see large variety of birds sitting on the same tree and feasting on these fruits. You can identify birds from barbets or say orioles, um, crow, even starlings, even hornbills. You can see variety of such birds feasting on a fruiting tree, and these trees are very much like found nearby human vegetation. Banyan tree is very common. Correct. On the right hand side, you can see a red whiskered bulbul feasting on this lantana berry. Again, lantana berries are found very easily near human vegetation. So this is something like a behavior, like, their eating behavior, what kind of food they eat. Based upon that also you can identify a bird. The next example is, how they bathe. Basically, one of the nature or one of the characteristic of bird is every bird clean itself in the morning, early morning. You will find these birds near the water areas or little ponds, shallow ponds, where they can flutter their wings and then they clean their wings before they start their daily ritual. On the right hand side, you can see a scaly breasted munia carrying the grass stick. It is the nesting behavior of scaly breasted munia. So generally, their nesting period starts from somewhere like May up until September. So during that time, you can see these birds carrying a lot of nesting material. So based upon nesting material also, you can identify the bird. Scaly breasted munias generally carry the blades of grass, or such kind of sticks, like some dry sticks of some plants or grass to build their nests. Whereas sparrows or sunbirds, they carry cotton or even hair of animals or human to build their nests. So based upon the nesting material also, you can identify the bird. Here is a short video of Baya Weaver, how the Baya is building the nest. So he's waiting for the mate to come and inspect its nest. I would like to share one interesting fact over here. Baya Weaver, the male, it builds the entire nest. You can see the how tricky the nest is, the most trickiest nest. It has several compartments inside. So the male bird build entire nest within, say, probably 1.5 to 2 months span, and then the female inspect the entire nest. If she likes it, then only she gives a green signal to that male, and then they both met and then have their offsprings going on. Go ahead. That process goes ahead in a particular nest. But if she rejects that particular nest, then this male again start rebuilding a new nest. It abandons this nest. So you can understand like how difficult for a Baya male to I would say lure the female to like the nest. Or if she doesn't like, she he will again have to rebuild the entire nest. And it does it. It definitely does. And the interesting part is such abandoned nests are used by Indian silverbills or the other birds. So you can see the other birds in Bayaviva's nest as well. If you observe, if you really go outskirts and start observing it, it is really, really amazing to see it. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, the next characteristic is habitat type. I've taken examples of very, I would say, local birds here. This is a pond heron, generally found near water body, right? On the right hand side, you can see a purple sunbird, which is easily found in thin forest or garden land, or including those in dense urban areas. You can easily identify it in your balconies as well. If you have, kept some probably nectar bearing of plants or probably if there are spiders in your balcony or surrounding area, you can see these birds very often. Now this bird is in a breeding plumage, right? Amita was describing about like underparts, the pectoral feathers. So you can see here the bird is having this pectoral feather, it is displaying it. So it is its way to attract the female. They show this pectoral feathers only during the mating dance. Otherwise, they don't show these feathers. And you can see the wonderful plumage it has got. This is a breeding plumage. I will show you how it looks otherwise in the latest slide. Another example of habitat, painted storks. It's a colony of painted storks. They are usually found near the ponds or big lakes, kind of, and they are always in a clutch size, or maybe a size of almost like 10, 15, 20. Right, they're never found alone. They are not solitary. They are like colonial bird. Another example is this. This is my favorite bird, even Amita's favorite bird. I have clicked this at Chamoli village in Uttarakhand. This is scarlet finch. This is the male bird, this is a female, and this is a subadult, right? They are generally found in Uttarakhand, or the lower parts of Himalayas, which are there in Uttarakhand area. And I believe they are found only in Uttarakhand and some part of West Bengal. So this is how their habitat looks like, right? Okay, the next characteristic is color and plumage pattern. So this comes at a very later stage. As I told you before, we cannot identify bird just based upon the color and the plumage pattern, because most of the birds and they have similar sort of a plumage or coloring. So we can't really identify bird just looking at color of a bird. Now, when I showed you this scarlet finch, there are other scarlet birds available in India, or they are seen in India. So you might get confused with only with the color, unless you know the shape, size, or the beak pattern, the head pattern, what Amita described in her slide. Correct? So that's the reason why color and plumage pattern comes at a very later stage in bird identification. Now here is it's the same group of birds. First, on the left hand side, it is Oriental magpie robin male, which is showing like two colors in a plumage, like a black and a white. Correct? On the right hand side, it's a female of Indian robin. So it's in very different plumage, very different color. Same family, but different coloration, different plumage. So this is again one way of identifying it. Very colorful plumages. These birds are found in again Uttarakhand. The left hand side it is rufous vented Neeltava. Right hand side it is Kalij pheasant, and behind it is I guess red. Amita, can you just help me identifying the bird behind?
Yes, it's a jungle foal, Namita.
Red jungle fowl,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Red jungle fowl, correct. So these are the different colorations and different plumages of the birds. Again, same family of bird, pied kingfisher, and this is white-throated kingfisher. So with the different coloring, you can identify what is the subspecies of kingfisher it is, right? The pied kingfisher exhibits black and white, whereas white-throated kingfisher, The distinctive coloration is on their wings, that is blue. Their throat is again white. So this is how you can identify the birds when you are outdoors. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you on coloring and plumage and pattern, how you can identify it. So earlier I show you a purple sunbird breeding plumage. It looks like this, and during non-breeding it looks like this. Very different, totally different. It has, a complete, I would say, purplish patch. It starts from its chin and it goes up until its belly. So that's a non-breeding plumage of purple sunbird. Then another characteristic is location and elevation of sighting. So this is ruddy turnstone, a common cosmopolitan wading bird typically found near the shore area. It's a wintering migrant during, I would say, November to January, or even till March. You can see these birds near the shores, right? And another example of elevation is like this Himalayan griffon vulture, which is usually found in Himalayas at a very higher elevation, the range of 1200 to 5500 meters. So these are two different examples of birds found in two different elevations. You can't see Himalayan griffon vulture probably near the shore area, or neither you can see maybe ruddy turnstone in Himalayas, vice versa. Another example is a very easy example is this Eurasian tree sparrow, which is a winter migrant in Uttarakhand or maybe a northern part of India, and this is a common house sparrow. It has a very wide range. It is distributed worldwide. It is the most widely distributed wild bird on the planet. It has different I would say, morphs as per the region, but otherwise the characteristics remains the same of the bird. So again, with the elevation, the bird species, the subspecies becomes different. Then there are migratory birds. So this is a color bomb. This is a sensation, during amongst the birders. Oriental dwarf kingfisher. It's a partial migrant bird. uh, this tropical bird basically migrate from Kerala or even Sri Lanka during the breeding season to Konkan area of India. So most of the photographers, they will, they would definitely love to observe their nesting behavior, their parental ritual. How do they feed their young ones? What kind of variety they bring to feed their young ones? So that's really amazing. That's really wonderful to observe their entire parental ritual. It starts mostly from somewhere like I guess September, oh sorry, July, and up until September. So their breeding happens twice during this season. The first would be somewhere like between September, July end to August, and then mid August to September end, if everything goes well. And surprisingly or interestingly, this is the smallest kingfisher, one of the smallest kingfisher of the world. It's a very pocket size bird, but look at the plumage, the colors it has. It's amazing. Another sensation, it was in late 2020s, it was Amur falcon. This is a passage migrant. So it visits India in winters for a very brief period. It breeds, I believe, in southeastern Siberia or northern China before migrating in large flocks across India and over Arabian Sea to winter in southern and eastern African coasts. So you can see, like, how long they fly only for winters, to get away from winters of Siberia or northern China. It's amazing. So this is it, I guess. Yeah, I would like to run this, and then probably you can just identify, if you can, the bird call, and let me know. All right, and then probably I'll show you the bird photograph. So let's play this. Can you identify this call? Can anyone identify this call?
The first one
Yes.
is Asian coil.
Sorry?
First one is Asian coil.
No, not Asian coil. Anyone like to attempt? Okay. I'll show you. Yes,
White
Akshara.
sheep.
White chick barbet, no. It is not white chick barbet.
Is it a bulbul, ma'am?
No.
This one.
No. Okay, I'll show you. It is common tailor bird.
No, the first one, Namita, it was different.
No, I was talking about this one. Okay, now listen to this. Oops, okay. Now it is already been seen. It is bulbul. This is red vented bulbul. This is very easy.
Coil?
Yes, it is. It is Asian coil.
Now it's coil.
Correct. So it's a male Asian coil.
Hello? Is
Yes.
there any difference between coil and crow?
I would say coil and crow, like similar groups. Yes, Amita? They are generally from the similar sort of a group. But only differentiation is coil is a parasite, the brood parasite. They don't nest, they don't have their own nest. And if you observe, the male Asian coil has very red distinctive eyes, whereas crow doesn't have a very red distinctive eye. And crow's size is also bigger than the Asian coil.
Thank you.
Yep. Can you identify this?
Spotted dove.
Can you come again?
Spotted dove.
No. Very common. Very common. Yes.
Barbet.
No.
Is it the crow pheasant?
Yes. It is crow pheasant. Correct. You are right. It is also called as Greta Kaukal. In Hindi, it is called as Maho. In Marathi, it is called as Bharadwaj. Okay. Can you identify this one?
Blue bee eater.
No.
Okay, green.
It's not bee. All right, again I'll play it. Oh yeah, it is beater. Sorry, my bad. It is little green beater. When a birder gets formed. Can you identify this? It's a very, very small whistle. Again, I'll play it. Yeah.
A small blackish one.
Sorry?
I don't know the name, but it is very small and blackish.
It
Sunbird.
has a black color, but not total black.
Is it sunbird?
No,
Is it Matchbee Robin?
no. Okay, I'll show it. It's Iora. It's common Iora. And this is again commonly seen in, near human habitat. This is so very easy to identify. I'll
Pablo.
give you a hint. Sorry?
Parrot.
No.
Pablo.
Sorry, again? Come again?
Ma'am, I think it's a Bablo.
Yes, it is babbler. It is a babbler. Large grey babbler.
Yeah, these are commonly known as sadbhai. When they come together,
Yeah.
they just keep on making noise.
A very noisy fella. Anybody? Now, this particular, peculiar song you hear during the monsoon. Can you guess? Anyone? No? Yeah, it is koel, but which koel? It's not kokira. It's common hawk cuckoo. Can you identify this one? No, not pied cuckoo. It's a very small bird, small in size. And they are usually found on peepal tree. And their name is resembling with one of the metal.
Yeah, inspired from the name of Goldsmith.
Yes.
Coppersmith.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. It is coppersmith barbet. They have this metallic sound. That's why they are called as, coppersmith barbets. This is a flock of birds who are making noise. Can anyone identify?
Is it a Prinia, ma'am?
No. I shown this bird in my earlier video. Okay, you can just look at it. Baya Weaver. So this is it. I mean, this was like a small thing which we really wanted to play for you. Next is the question answer session, which we really would like you guys to ask us questions if you want. We can answer you. I hope you learned like a basic identification marks. But if you still have more questions like how to identify bird on field, we are here to help you out.
Hi.
It is more important to go out and explore the uh,
Field,
bird world around us.
correct.
By practicing, you will come to know the different names of birds.
Hello.
Yes.
And
Uh,
and
uh, are we able to identify the birds while flying?
Yes, we can. Looking at the wings underparts, if they are visible, if the light is proper, you can definitely identify the bird. Specifically, the raptor category of birds, which generally fly at a very high elevation, you can identify their wing patterns, the wingspan, even the tail size, the shape of the tail. You can easily identify that bird during the flight as well. Some birds make noise. Now I showed you that oriental dwarf kingfisher. It make a very peculiar a noise while flying. It is kind of a whistle. So even if you don't see the bird passing, but only by listening to its voice or maybe a call, you can identify that yeah, this bird is in the surrounding. Anyone? Any other question?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Abby.
Ma'am, I am an amateur bird poacher myself, so I have several doubts because I am not very quite familiar with